Check, 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 microphone check, microphone check. Welcome back, everybody, to the Johnny Guitar channel. Today we're playing Elder Scrolls Adventures, Redguard. Now, this game is quite interesting. I've already played a little bit of it just to get a feel for the controls. Yeah, it's an interesting game. It is chock full of Elder Scrolls lore, everybody. So I think it's important to pay attention to all of the great lore that we can learn from Elder Scrolls Adventures, Redguard. Let us begin. Thank you for watching Johnny Guitar.
It is late in the Second Era, a time of war, as the empire of Tiber Septim sweeps through the kingdoms of Tamriel in a glorious bid for conquest. Septim is opposed on all sides, but never more fiercely than by Hammerfell, the ancestral home of the Redguards. The High King of Hammerfell, Thasard II, resists the imperial invasions even as he sees other kingdoms crumble. Until at last, without warning and surprisingly devoid of court treachery, death takes its full measure. With its High King dead, Hammerfell is crippled, plunging into a bloody civil war between the crowns, fighting for their homeland's continued sovereignty, and the forebears, who have finally accepted the Emperor's rule. The crowns, led by the heir to Thasard, Prince Ator, are continually victorious, spilling the blood of the forebears across Hammerfell's sands. From his seat of power in the port city of Stros M'Kai, Prince Ator slowly reunites his father's unraveled kingdom. Feeling their impending defeat, the forebears sign a pact with the Emperor, allowing him to bring his armies in, crush the crowns, and rule Hammerfell as his own. Tiber Septim's armies prove too much for the proud Redguard crowns. Tiber Septim sends his best commander, Lord Richten, to Stros M'Kai to close the grip on Prince Ator and the crowns. The prince rallies his forces for one last stand. Knowing that Hammerfell's sovereignty is at stake, the crown forces match the might of the empire, meeting them in the harbor of Stros M'Kai for the final battle. The fighting is fierce. Lord Richten, having seen the prince's victories at sea before, decides to bring his last resource to the fore. The dragon, Nathalilagus, proud jewel of the imperial crown. Ator commands his archers to ready their weapons, but is struck down himself by Richten's assassin, felled by an arrow whose poison spreads too fast. Ator's wizard attempts to save the prince, but the dragon ends his magic and the crown's hope for victory in a single fiery breath. Having conquered the crowns, the Emperor's forces claim rule over all of Hammerfell. Imperial garrisons are stationed at every city, and Rickton himself is named provisional governor of Stros M'Kai. Months pass. The Redguards of Hammerfell, both crown and forebear, learn to live under the new imperial rule, and Tiber Septim extends his reach into the rest of Tamriel. It is only through fate that any of this will come to concern our hero, Cyrus, a Redguard who long ago left Hammerfell to wander the borderlands of the Empire.
Cyrus, eto forwakecher okodor.
Let's make this short, Sarathra. I've got work to do.
Balizihataratami. Sicho.
I leave with Duardine's men in an hour.
Renrigi intnor. Hoko o imperial ja. Iko pofam rototvelk.
You should know you got me the job.
Tragir. Sratra kol kotero to Hammerfell. Boshe in rot.
The seal is broken.
Sratra warregat.
Yeah, I bet you were.
Nuko Duadin. Sratra X Kyle.
Iszara.
Rolita dek kaudor.
I need a ship.
To board the koi Sratra nakovek warabarashi.
Money, too.
Sri Duadin ja. Epako ja srik. Pur Sratra kadoeliter beko.
We haven't spoken in 10 years. There was trouble.
Kakatar.
I killed her husband.
Hammerfell's prodigal son, Cyrus, returns to the province of his birth. He buys passage to the island of Stros M'Kai in the hopes of rescuing his sister, Iszara.
Get below is what the pilot said to the wet-haired knaves before him.
The Restless League is claiming this cargo.
Said the other with cruel clarity.
Probably wouldn't make a difference if I told you I had no time for this.
This is about Redguard honor, boy. Stand aside.
Yes, a doubtful notion it is. Piracy and politics. But there you have it.
Never been much for politics. In my day, piracy was honest work.
Don't be a hero, boy.
Where's the money in that?
And yea, verily, by his bravery they were impressed for a scant few seconds. Not the good other side. Will you get you'll get a bastard. Get to his other side. No, he thinks to himself, you little bastard. Small.
Cyrus!
Captain, good to see you back in command.
Please call me Brennan. You disposed of those ruffians so quickly, I had no time to retrieve my sword from my cabin.
That's so.
Look, over there. Let us move on before more show up.
I hope this letter finds your hands, friend. My latest travels have brought me to Stros M'Kai, and no one here has seen your sister for 3 months. I fear the worst. I feel obligated to stay for a few weeks. I'll be at the Dragon Tail Inn should you return. Tobias.
Ahoy there, sailor. Can I have a word with you? Greetings, stranger.
What can I do for you, friend?
The question is, what can I do for you? The young stranger in town, fearless, footloose, and fancy-free, a little light of purse, perhaps? I have a proposition that may appeal, but first allow me to introduce myself. Kataro, contractor of Stros M'Kai, at your service.
Cyrus. Charmed. I wonder if you know my sister, Iszara. I've come to Stros M'Kai to find out what's happened to her.
I'm afraid I don't know her. I'm just a simple working man. You might try Dreekius up at the Dragon Tail. Pretty much everyone in Stros M'Kai passes through his door eventually.
What do you know about a group of ruffians calling themselves the Restless League?
Damn them and their bloody-minded ways. They've done more to ruin Stros M'Kai than the Four Bears and Empire combined. If it weren't for them, this city would have been at peace months ago.
How is the Restless League responsible for ruining Stros M'Kai?
Burning or plundering half the cargoes headed for this port, stirring up the Imperials to ever more ruthless repression. The League doesn't seem to realize that the war is over, and they lost.
You're saying the League was allied with the Crowns?
That depends on who you ask. I don't know. I'm not one of your political gentlemen, always in someone else's business. I'm just a poor working stiff. A bird in the hand is better, you know what they say.
Tell me about this job you have for me.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's palace. Now, to be honest, I've been having trouble finding someone to take the job. But I'm sure a robust lad such as yourself pays no attention to silly local superstitions. Are you interested?
Sure. I'll take the job.
Splendid. Here's your 100 gold. I'll have the rest for you after you deliver the amulet to the governor. Well, I'm sure you won't have any trouble, but, you probably want to do this during the daylight.
Refresh my memory about this job you hired me for.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's palace.
Nagasta?
A harmless old hermit. The more superstitious of my fellow citizens repeat silly rumors about him, but I put no stock in their tales. He lives in the old wizard's tower. Just follow the shoals on the northwest side of the island.
Any idea what's so important about this amulet?
That's between the Gasta and the governor. I just get paid to find a delivery man.
How much are you offering for this job?
Like I said, I've been having trouble hiring for this job, so I'm upping the rate a bit. 100 up front and 200 more after completion.
That's pretty high for a simple delivery. What's the catch?
The pay's proportional to the danger. Nagasta's tower isn't exactly on the main road, you know? So you may have a little trouble getting there. Nothing that you can't handle, I'm sure.
What superstitions do the locals harbor about this Nagasta?
Oh, you know, they call him a necromancer, prattle about him stealing people's souls, armies of undead, you know, that sort of thing. Nothing a well-armed fellow like yourself would worry about.
Where can I find the governor's palace?
Straight at the top of the hill. You can't miss it. The grandest structure in Stros M'Kai, maybe in all of Hammerfell. Quite the tourist attraction before the late unpleasantness.
Trikians?
A friendly local lizard. Not that I have anything against him, or her, or whatever. Can't ever tell with those Argonians. Runs the Dragon Tail, the tavern on the town square.
We'll talk later. One moment.
Sorry, man. Imperials everywhere. I don't talk with strangers.
Hey, sailor.
May I trouble you for a moment, my lady?
Lady, you say? You must be new in town. Besides, Fiona would have remembered you.
Cyrus, at your service. Do you know a young lady named Iszara? My sister, last seen over 3 months ago.
Iszara, yes. I see the family resemblance. Can't say I know her, though. She was all caught up in them troubles we had when the young prince was here.
What is news around Stros M'Kai these days?
That it's best to keep your mouth shut or end up in the catacombs. Or worse.
Have you heard anything about a group called the Restless League?
They claim to fight the Empire, but they seem more interested in plunder from what I can tell. They make a point to target forebears, though. So I guess they aren't all bad.
A friend is meeting me at the Dragon Tail. Do you know it?
Sure, Siana knows it all right. Used to be a favorite of mine till that damn lizard barkeep got all high and mighty on me. Does this friend have a name?
Tobias. Do you know him?
Did Hundun hate goblins? Of course I know him. One of my best customers, and I'm no lie. Any friend of Tobias is a friend of Siana. I'll be happy to help you out any way I can.
Maybe you can help me. Tell me more about the recent troubles in Stros M'Kai.
You know, the civil war between the Crowns and the Forebears. You really aren't from around here, are you?
Tell me more about the Crowns.
They supported Prince Ator after his father died. True Redguard patriots. More's the pity.
What of these forebears? Who are they?
Forebears? Pah! They call me a whore. Sold out the prince and left us with the streets full of fine soldiers and not an honest ring to any heel.
Was my sister involved in the Civil War in some way?
Well, I don't want to spread gossip, especially not to her brother. But they say she was friends with the prince. Good friends, you know. So it's no wonder she disappeared when Fat Boy came to town.
Fat Boy?
Oh, sorry. I mean His Imperial Highness Provisional Governor Lord Rickton.
Tell me about this Rickton.
He's a bad one, he is. Fiona can tell. Invited me up to the palace once, but I won't be back. Maybe Fiona's not a fine lady, but she's an honest working girl and doesn't like being treated like dirt. And she definitely doesn't like being watched by that sneaking, prick-eared shadow.
Who is this shadow you speak of?
Fat Boy's pet assassin, Ram. A ghoul from furthest Morrowinds, they say. Those red eyes of his are watching you. No, Siona won't be back to the palace. Not for all the coin in Hammerfell.
These catacombs, some kind of a dungeon?
That's where Fat Boy's odds of any crowns he can catch. Into the palace, where the dragon lives.
A dragon lives in these catacombs?
That's how Fat Boy beat the crowns. The Imperials, at least, think the dragon's still down there, laying about on the royal sea of coin.
We'll talk later. Be careful.
Cyrus! You made it! Come here, lad. How you look good. It's been too long.
If you hadn't retired...
Mercenary life's younger men's work.
Bah, he said.
I prayed that you would get my letter.
It is lucky you were here, Tobias, or I wouldn't have known Iszara was in trouble. I have not been in Hammerfell since the...
I know, lad, what you mean.
Anyway, Stros M'Kai has no one who could have reached me. Thank you.
I sent the letter some weeks ago, Cyrus. I fear things have gotten worse for your sister since.
How did you know where to reach me, Tobias? Our paths parted so long ago.
I didn't send it to you directly. I knew that damn cat was probably still getting you into trouble, even to this day. Sratra seemed the likely solution, and through the channels I'd heard, he'd made Wayrest his port of late.
Now, he's moved from the throne seekers of the old empire to the lesser lords of High Rock, still playing them to his benefit, raking in the gold on all fronts.
I thought that Septim had solidified the Britons.
As much as the witchmen will, but there is still a lot of money to be made in the drawing of borders before the provincial laws dry completely. Mercenaries are in great demand right now, as are fixers like our cat friend.
Does he still stink so?
To hear.
I think I will go see him when I leave. It's been too long.
How do you mean worse? What more do you know about Iszara?
Nothing more than my letter has described. That she is gone and no one knows where. Just a bad feeling that's grown worse with the wait. The governor has not been merciful with the crowns that survived the battle. I hear his dragon's belly is full of the overloud, and that many died later in the burning of the old quarter.
What happened to the old quarter?
The crowns fled ashore there after the battle. It was their last stand. The governor sent his dragon, and it was done.
Was Iszara there?
That section of town is closed off. No one I've talked to knows if she was there or not.
Where's the dragon now?
It's disappeared too. Some say it has returned to the Imperial province. Others say the governor keeps it well paid and fed in the catacombs below the palace.
Is there another way into the catacombs?
There is the traditional way.
Imagine that I laughed. Secret entrance, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who in this town knew of Iszara?
I did not question many for fear of ill allegiance. So I went to the temple to ask of her. For the brothers of RK are neutral in mortal affairs. There, Brother Niddle told me that Iszara had vanished and set me on the road of writing you. Also, Dreekius here knew that she was missing too.
What can you tell me about Iszara?
She frequented this establishment much before the battle in Hunding Bay. Less after, of course.
Of course.
She was a fervent one, your nestling, who hated the Empire not in hushed tones. After the occupation, she disappeared for a while.
She disappeared 3 months ago.
No, I'm talking about before that, right after the battle. Many crowns had scattered in the wake then, hiding where they could. I didn't see her for several days following. But then she showed up, needing a drink and rambling, tense on some decision.
What then?
The Imperials came and I let her out through the back. I haven't seen her since.
So the priests are still safe from being conquered.
Be that as it may, the temple is quite empty of priests, save for Brother Niddle. It seems some of their ranks have disappeared also.
I'm noticing a theme. Where did you hear that?
Niddle told me Brother Catral vanished around the same time as your sister, and that they knew each other.
So I can count Brother Niddle as an ally then?
On my word, he was most helpful, but he seemed to be holding something back.
I wouldn't consider paranoia a bad character trait in Stros M'Kai these days. Besides, you're so ugly.
That was it. He may open up to you more, being Iszara's brother and half as hard to look at.
Tell me about the temple.
The head priest, a Brother Niddle, was very helpful in regards to Iszara. He seemed to know her well, and shared my concern over her disappearance. He is worth an interview.
I think I saw it across the plaza. What is the Restless League, Captain?
Where did you hear that name?
They attacked the ship that gave me passage.
Speak of it but in a whisper, and not too often. The governor is searching the surrounding waters for them, and will see them broken and piked if he has his way. The League has survived the death of the Crown Prince and resists his enemies still. But they are few, and going fewer from what I hear, and have been reduced to brigandry these days. Not far from the lives we led not too long ago, eh?
Bold are these brigands, the Restless League, to attack a ship in the very harbor.
They must be running low on provisions to act so desperately. They have been ghosts of late, and this appearance is their first since I've been here.
How do you know about them then?
They ran the Iliac before the war. Our lanes have crossed.
But after the occupation, they've stayed relatively scarce?
Yes, which is why their attack on you is so troubling. No one knew of your impending arrival?
Nobody but Seraphra. Would it matter?
I'm not sure.
We were never brigands when I served under you, Captain. Only mercenaries.
Tell that to those on the other end of the sword, lad. You see more of yourself in the men of the Restless League than you'd care to admit, I'd wager.
They're knaves with their eyes on Providence, nothing more. My sword's never been dressed for diplomacy. Give me gold for a throat, the throat for a slight, and I'm well. Give me a well-paying war.
War is the continuation of politics. That's it, right?
You quote Hunding like a Redguard, Tobias.
Political power grows along the blade of a sword.
Okay.
A drink to the Redguard. I see you still remember your childhood heroes, even if you've dismissed the homeland.
Hunting is a universal wellspring.
Be resolute, fear no sacrifice, and surmount every difficulty to win victory.
See? Anyone could admire that.
Tell me that your Redguard heart didn't buckle when you saw his statue at port.
Krandar Hunding is a great hero to Hammerfell, I'll admit, and even a little to myself. Hail the great founder and all that nonsense. But it's an ill plan to try and trigger the homeland tug through the invocation of Hunding, Tobias.
Really?
Don't forget he left his homeland too, and never looked back.
That's because it fell into the sea, you dolt.
What brought you to Stros M'Kai?
War and the rumors of war. Every merchant that's near and seaworthy has come to Stros M'Kai in the wake of recent events, either in the service of the provisional governor or to fill the sea lines that Septim has shattered, and that the crowns can run no more. I thought I might profit from a visit, but it has brought naught but sorrow and the sign of darker days. I fear I shall be leaving none too soon.
Since when were you a merchant, Tobias?
The fight left me after our little foray into Morrowind. It's been sweet commerce ever since.
I've not returned to Morrowind since then.
Who'd want to? All that ash and fire. Those dark elves can keep their curse.
Don't forget the bugs.
Which reminds me, Governor Richten has a little sting of his own from those parts. His lieutenant is a dark elf. Watch out for that one. Always close by the governor, hiding in his shadow.
Which means he's got plenty of room to maneuver.
I'd welcome another chance at the Dark Elves. I've still got scars.
Watch yourself.
Do you think Iszara chose sides in the Civil War, and that is why she has disappeared?
Your family's always been partisan, lad, since your early days in Sentinel. I ventured she still held her old allegiances, even if you haven't. Few crowns in Stros M'Kai survived the battle with the Imperials, but I know Iszara was one of them.
How?
Hearing of the defeat of the crowns caused me much concern. When I arrived, a search for word of Iszara's safety. The only ones here who knew of her said that she had disappeared shortly after the Imperials landed.
I see the harbor is already arrayed in the flags of the Emperor, and that his men walk the streets as if born to them.
Stros M'Kai's a dangerous port these days. There's an empire to be built, you know, and Tiber Septim shows no sign of slowing its increase from here to the edge of the world map. High Rock's border kings bent knee to the Cyrodiil long ago. Even my father's fair Skyrim is adorned with flags of red dragons and foreign men. We are entering a new era, I fear, with Septim's name writ long and wide upon it.
Any kind words for our new Emperor?
He is good at what he does, and sees the holes lesser men leave wide. No offense to your Prince Ator, of course.
Hammerfell's problems are her own. I was only asking if Septim was the tyrant they say.
Of course he is. Tyranny means never having to say you're sorry. But Iszara's fate has nothing to do with the Emperor, I'm sure. Look to the provisional governor if you suspect imperial entanglements. He's the real tyrant around here. Septim's no Cyrodiil from what I've heard, though he rules their remnants and rebuilds their empire. He's something worse or greater, depending on your disposition to the center, son.
If he has no blood tie to the Cyrodiil throne, then how did he make it his?
Come on. For the last 400 years, the petty kings of Cyrodiil have been squabbling over the title of Emperor, all claiming forebearance. Imperial throne's blood's thinner than a sea dream and half as wet. Tiber Septim took the throne as he took your peoples.
Hail the new conqueror.
There's a good little subject.
You used to hire out to those petty kings, did you not?
20 years ago, maybe, when the whole heart of Tamriel was in chaos. I can admire Tiber Septim insofar that he has managed to consolidate the rags and tatters that bickered there then.
No empire is a good thing, Captain.
There's a Redguard for you. How long were you in Wayrest, Cyrus?
Long enough to piss off the locals.
A bay ride from Sentinel. Close enough for you to hear about Prince Aetor, then.
Yes, of late the criers are tripping over each other. There's so much to report of the blistery south.
And you've listened to it all, I'm sure.
Fine, recount all word of Prince Aetor that I have shamefully ignored.
When his father died and the capital of Sentinel was taken over by the Forebears, the prince fled back here to his ancestral home of Stros M'Kai. After rallying the crowns to his stead, he made for the throne again and had it near. That's when the Empire came. Through a forebear truce which no one expected. Again the prince was forced back to Stros M'Kai, which he died defending. He will not long be forgotten. Lizard, another drink?
What were the terms of the Forebear truce?
Originally, the Empire was to lend its armies to the Forebear cause in return for a swath of holding titles along the southeast border. But when Baron Volag disappeared during the arse end of the war, all bets were off. A new treaty was formed, which garrisoned those Imperial armies in the cities.
Until such a time as the native rulership can see fit to reinstate itself safely on its rightful throne.
Something like that, yes, sir.
So the Nord kings have submitted to Tiber Septim too.
They do not worry over much. They have outlasted empires before, and this conquest will be no different. Hammerfell has been the bloodiest invasion of current record, and by comparison, Skyrim's occupation seemed like a ballet.
Do you know if Iszara fought in the Battle of Stros M'Kai?
My investigations were limited, I'll admit. If she fought, I can't say. But I would guess that she did. The battle was the penultra of the crowns, and all who subscribed to the name no doubt took up arms. While most of them were slain at sea, others have been taken prisoner by the governor.
Tell me about the provisional governor, Captain.
When I arrived, his soldiers showed me the finer points of Richten's new docking tax, and scoured my ship for leaguesmen. I must say he's a bit of an asshole. You'd better watch yourself around him.
So why aren't you in jail?
Meaning why aren't said soldiers in little boxes at the foot of the palace gate? Because I didn't come to port to get myself in trouble, but to get your sister out.
Should I look into seeing this governor then?
That's where I'd look, laddie.
Could she be in jail?
I haven't exactly knocked on the door to find out. That's your job now. But I know the jail's off limits to non-Imperials. Now, read no visitors whatsoever.
We'll see about that. Imperial expansion has been feared for years. Why wasn't Hammerfell better prepared?
Factional squabbles, divided councils, miscalculations. Crowns lost heart when they lost the capital. Forebears lost their heads completely when they welcomed the Empire's friendship and aid.
So the Empire played the Forebears pretty well, eh?
What else is a visionary with an open invitation to do? The forebears are having futile second thoughts now, no doubt. Probably why they're so bitter and driven to bar brawls.
How is the city of Sentinel? I never returned.
For long my men plied the Iliac, and Sentinel was along the run. That's how I came to know that Iszara moved from there to here. I kept up with her for your sake. If even it were a dream to think anything would come of it. When Volag's purge ignited through the north, I went there seeking to help her. But she was already gone. Later, I learned she'd come to Stros M'Kai.
What was Volag's purge?
When Thasad died, Baron Volag led the forebears into an uprising for control of the capital. All crowns were forced to leave Sentinel after that first massacre. Your sister was among those that followed the prince here to Stros M'Kai to plan the counterattack. I swear, Cyrus, are you always such a lame brain when it comes to word of recent Hammerfell?
I've come to cultivate a certain indifference about the homeland.
And this is a good thing?
So his character is in question. Again.
She was your sister, Cyrus.
I was probably miles away.
A proximity often and on purpose, I'd suspect. Yeah, well, you're here now.
Is it safe to talk here?
As safe as any, and the ale is good. Drekius can be trusted as much as any walking lizard can be. It might get a little rough with all the forebears around, but I'll be here until I leave Stros M'Kai.
I'll be back. If you're not here, thanks for everything. Good luck.
Just find your sister and get out of here. And send word through Srathra. Go on, you'll do fine.
What will it be, traveler?
Excuse me.
Hey, Vagu. A crown come out of hiding.
That's so, hey, Crown. Be good and bring us another round, eh?
I hear you crowns think you're real brave dagger lads. Want to test yourself against a real swordsman?
I'm sick of chit-chat, little Crown boy. Pull that blade out if you know how, or leave me alone.
Stand and draw then, gentlemen.
Take him, boys.
Cyrus!
Come
Pick
here,
on
boy.
someone your own size.
There it is.
Let it end here.
Ouch! Careful of the texture, Cyrus.
Give more blood.
Keep away from me, lad. Spill my... You win!
pay for it.
No, he's unarmed.
Come on, Cyrus.
Same old...
Point up, lad, and move him.
Haven't you people anything else to do?
Okay. Yeah, so we learned a lot today, didn't we, everybody? Yeah, we learned quite a bit. For one, we learned a lot about the Civil War here in Stros M'Kai. We learned that, and very interesting, in this game, according to the perspective of the Redguards, Tiber Septim is the enemy. Tiber Septim is a tyrant It's just interesting that, you know, other games that take place in places like Skyrim, Tiber Septim is held to a high standard. So, it's just quite interesting. Now, remember, this game
Hello there.
was helped created by Todd Howard. So this is 100% canonical to the Elder Scrolls franchise. Kind of amazing in that sense. The music is good, and it's kind of a cool game, and I'm getting pretty good at combat, so I'm not too worried there. So I think in the next episode, I'm looking for my sister. I'm definitely going to end up in the palace confronting the governor. I do have to grab that amulet from Nagasta in order to gain entry to the palace. But most of all, I need to find my sister. And there's one more clue, and that's going to be the Temple of RK. So I think we're going to do that in the next episode, everybody. Stay tuned to the Johnny Guitar channel. Like the videos, subscribe, check out all the other fun games and things we do on the Johnny Guitar channel. You guys are awesome, and I hope you're having a great day. And we will see you next time we play Elder Scrolls Adventures, Redguard.